Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the STL Hockey Fan Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. I will say I apologize for the long time in between last episode and this one. I just happen to be one of them regular dudes. I have a job and work has been crazy. So, and Christmas and all that good stuff. Plus, I'm looking for some cool guests. So, anyways, I realized that I never really do this. I never really tell you guys where to find me on anything. So I am at STL Hockey Fan 1 at pretty much everything. Except for on X, where I am STL Hockey Fan 16. 16 for Brett Hall. Apparently, I couldn't have STL Hockey Fan 1. There was already one out there. Crazy. So that's STL Hockey Fan 1 on TikTok, which is where I pretty much do everything. And then I do a little bit on Instagram, which is basically just what's already on my TikTok stuff. And then I also have all of the podcasts up on YouTube, as well as some of the shorts, but obviously YouTube, copyright, all that stuff. Wasn't having a good time with it. All right, so no way to avoid it. Let's just get into the game against the Buffalo Sabres. The Blues lost 4-2, and it was a rough one because pretty much Jim Montgomery said the same thing. In the first period, it was only the offense that was good. Defense was not. And then second and third period were just kind of awful. Joel Hofer, he did pretty well. Everyone else just kind of sucked. There was a point where Jimmy Snuggerud, whenever he got that goal, that was kind of the best he had played in there. There was a point where everything was collapsing that Robert Thomas, came out, had a really good shift, but, couldn't really get anything off of it. And then there was the pretty much empty net goal, not the one against the Blues, but the one right before that, where, and I say empty net goal, empty net attempt. We had a guy right in front, and their goalie was in the back of their, behind their net. Played it up to the front. We had a guy there, and he could not get it. And then it goes right to our net. So, man, just a rough one, but the pattern continues. I released a video, a TikTok about this, and it's the same thing. It's you start to do well, whether you get one win or two in a row, and then you just come out and do pretty much nothing and let the other team just roll over you. It's rough to watch. Um, it's like with each win, especially the Florida win, you want to get your hopes up and you want to, get excited for where this team is going, but then they just kind of show you where they're really at. And it's disappointing, it's discouraging, but I mean, what can you do about it? And really, if you think about it, what can you do about it? Doug Armstrong, um, I think he needs to step in here. And I know he's been doing stuff. He got Fabry, he got Bergeron. Um, but I would like to see a bigger name. And if that means getting rid of some of our bigger names, I'm okay with that. I know it's not something that, is incredibly possible, but like the thing where Minnesota gets Quinn Hughes and then they just, he steals the show pretty much and he's playing and scoring, um, in his first game and whatnot. And, that's insane. So that's kind of what I want to see for the Blues. And I know people are going to say, no trade clauses, no move clauses, all that stuff. Um, Doug Armstrong doesn't care. If you're not producing, I really think. I mean, we've seen it before. You know, Letty didn't want to be traded to the Sharks. Well, the Blues put him on waivers, and who was the first to get a shot at picking him up? The Sharks. That's where he went. Um, It's the same with Saad. We sent him down to terminate the contract. He decided to go to Vegas, and then it's the same with Texier. We sent him down to get rid of his contract. He goes to Montreal. So I I definitely see something happening where Doug Armstrong goes out and tries to get like one last acquisition, tries to get one last big name before he tries to hand it off to Steiner. Um, and I get, it's kind of a slow transition, but I just think this year, do I want to see him go for a big name. Who? I have no clue. That's a really tough one. But there's got to be a team out there willing to take a haul for a big name. Because I think within that haul, you can probably give up Kairu. You could probably give up Shenner. You can probably give up Falk. Um, Trying to think, who else can you give up? Who do we got down there? Hopefully they wouldn't give up like Juracek or anybody like that. Um, but they may have to. Um, you know what I mean? Like we have a lot of young talent. Do they, sacrifice one or two of them to be a part of the haul to get us a big name, somebody who can come out and make a difference? Um, Robert Thomas, man, I am so my issue there is just all the point blank chances that he just can't seem to go into the net. Um, it's like he has the chance to make a difference, um, many chances in a game, and can't seem to capitalize. Can always seem to come close, but can't really seem to actually get it done. Um, and again, it's frustrating. And it's frustrating for him. You could see it. Um, they said he was reading the banners after several shots. Like he's frustrated too. It's tough because they're all trying. They're trying to put in the effort, but man, just not getting the results. Speaking of not getting the results, let's do this. So the last game of the year is against Colorado. Fantastic. So Colorado right now, I'm pretty sure is like 28, 29 something uh wins, and then two regulation losses, and I think it's seven overtime losses. Um so how do we think this is gonna go? We got another like Jekyll and Hyde thing. Do we get the Blues that'll come out and dominate and keep everybody off the score sheet and all of that stuff? Or are we gonna get what we expect, which is for the Blues to basically like get blown out like 5-1 or something like that? Bennington will be playing, so that's another risk factor. Um, and this is essentially, I mean, officially, the game that will end the first half of the season. Um, Man, I genuinely, I'm predicting a loss for that one. I can't. I simply can't. It's tough. I don't want to say this. Um, it's really tough to have hope in a game like this. These guys are, and when I say these guys, the Avalanche are absolutely rolling right now. Um, and it really seems like nobody's going to stop them. Um, if you look at the stats, you've got Nathan McKinnon. He's got 32 goals. 32 goals. He's got 34 assists for 66 points. He's plus 48. Martin H's 19 goals, 31 assists. Brock Nelson 15 goals, 13 assists. Uh Arturi Lehkonen 14 goals, 17 assists. It just goes down the line. Look at their goalies. You've got Wedgwood, he's got uh 17 wins, 1 loss, 4 overtime losses. Blackwood, he's got, uh, 12 wins, 1 loss, 1 overtime loss. And then Trent Miner, he's their, I guess, 3rd goaltender whenever somebody's out. He's got 2 overtime losses. It's a rough one. Do I think the Blues can show up and win it? I do. Um, do I think they will? No. Um, but that's the crazy thing. It's like even if they did, even if they came out and they absolutely dominated and kept all the big time players off the score sheet, maybe like run one of the goalies out to do a goalie swap and they do all of these things. I would expect the next game after that for them to like just fall flat because that's the pattern. That's that is my issue is that we are seeing this pattern and it's not stopping. Um, you get a couple games, you lose. You get a couple games, you lose. You can't get any momentum. Um, and with each win, like I said, you get excited and then you just get let down on the next game or a couple of games. You're losing to teams that you should be beating, and you're beating teams that like you should be losing to, but there aren't enough of those, if that makes sense. Uh, they are 2 games under 500, not doing well. Um, Yeah, it's not good. Okay. Let's get out of this. I can't handle it anymore. So, January starts the second half of the season. So, if the Blues are going to do this crazy thing they do, kind of need to start now. Um, everybody this is pretty much where everybody is going to be disappointed or really stoked because there are a lot of people out there that say, "Well, look at what they've done." I'm included in this. Look at what they've done. Um, they've had a good second half of the season, the last couple of seasons, um, and so just wait for that. That's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen this time, guys. Um, I think it's going to be this, and there's gonna be a lot of selling. I hope there's a big name coming, um, but with the way everything's going, um, I think it might be another sell off, and then we basically try like a rebuild, a retool, um, and we move away from the core. We'll see. Anyways, the last time that I did a podcast, I asked people for questions, and to be quite honest, I only got 2. Um, so thank you guys for sending in your questions. I will specifically answer them now. Um, so first question is, do the Blues attempt to bring back a veteran player from our 2019 Cup roster to bring back a spark in the locker room, i.e. Tarasenko, O'Reilly, or David Perron? Um, so two things. So I don't think that they go to get somebody from the 2019 Cup roster specifically. Um, if you think about it, they already did Fabry, um, but I don't think that was a I'm looking for somebody from that team. Um, Now I do think that they would possibly bring um, somebody back, but that's just because I think that's how Doug Armstrong works. He likes to work with people he's worked with before. Um, so getting somebody like Tarasenko, that would be possible if um, I'm pretty sure Minnesota is actually doing pretty well right now, and that's where he's at. Um, I don't see them wanting to make any moves if what they're doing is working. Um, O'Reilly, that would be cool. if you ask me. But again, I don't know. I Nashville, I can't remember if they're still trending upward or not. I know the Blues just beat them, but I don't know if that's I don't know what they've been doing. So David Perron, I wish. I absolutely wish they would bring David Perron back. I absolutely loved him. Um, I think he's a great player. I think he's an important role. Um, and that role is honestly kind of what the Blues need right now, on top of simply just a guy that can go out and score. We need a goal scorer, one that can actually hit the net when it's empty. So there's my answer to that. I don't think they're looking for 2019 Cup roster specifically, but those guys you mentioned, I wouldn't put it past Doug Armstrong to entertain those ideas. And the second question, do you think the Blues not being good this year would be better than if we made the playoffs and lost? So I think what's being asked here is, would it be better if the Blues were just awful and didn't make the playoffs, or if they made the playoffs and lost? I would take make the playoffs and lose. Um, I get it. People want draft picks, and that's cool. But like, I simply think I would rather see them be competitive up until the end. Um, I hate these, the bad games that I see here. Um, the ones where it just looks like they're skating against the current. Um, Games like, um, the Capitals won this year, as well as one of the Boston ones. So um I would much rather have them go to the playoffs and lose than just suck it up all season. So thank you again to those two people who sent in questions. I appreciate you for putting in the effort and helping me out. You guys are great. And thank you to everybody for listening. I really appreciate you. Again, check us out on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, where this video will be posted. And obviously, get your podcast on, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all of that wonderful streaming stuff. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you would like, give us a follow, give us a rating. If you hate it, give me the minimal stars. If you love it, give me all the stars. Everything helps. I really appreciate you guys. Follow me on everything, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Love you guys. Let's go Blues.